Wrestling fans, it is Monday, October 28th, and we have just finished Monday Night Raw, aired live tonight from Orlando, Florida. I believe it was the Amway Center. Hot show tonight, I believe. Great crowd, lots of cool moments happened tonight. Overall, very excellent edition of Raw, following up what I would say was the pay-per-view of the month last night at Hell in a Cell. Guys, I hope you're all feeling on board because I feel like having a positive show for once, because the last few weeks we have been very down on this Raw post show. I think it's about time we got excited about wrestling again. So let me introduce everyone we got here. I'm Mike Paden, lead host of this show tonight, as well as Keeping Kayfabe Thursdays here on Mega Powers Radio. Joining me here right now, I got Mr. Steven Wago, lead host of Unanimous Decision MMA over on Dream Elite Radio, as well as Otaku Nation here on... Well, I guess we're not calling it Otaku Nation anymore, but an anime show that we have forming here on Mega Powers Radio. Steven, how you doing tonight? What did you think of Raw?
I actually enjoyed Raw. I mean, there was a Raw not too long back, which I was pretty positive about, but this one definitely blew it out the water. A lot of good moments, and I'm looking forward to getting into it. And it'll be even better to talk about it if Comcast doesn't crap out on me tonight.
Well, so far, so good, man. Also with us here tonight, we got the lead host of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk show, as well as the lead host, not the lead host, but the leader of Fanboys Anonymous website. And, well, I don't know if we're going to be doing the monthly meeting anymore. Are you, Anthony? Let's put you on the spot right in the air here.
We will, but Google is really trying to force me not to, aren't they?
Oh. Well, how you doing? What did you think of Raw tonight?
I like the first half.
Whoa.
Not to be a downer, but the last half kind of snoozers.
Okay, well, I guess we'll get more into that. Also with us here, regular here on the Raw Post Show, and a rockin' DJ from what I hear, Mr. Paul Hibbard. What's shaking, dude? How do you feel about Raw tonight?
I thought it was an excellent Raw compared to the ones we've had before. Paden, I'm so excited to hear you excited about this Raw. And you know what? I thought this was an excellent show. From the beginning, there were some down moments, but you know what? They pulled it together.
I couldn't agree more, man. All right, I'm glad we're all on board here. Everyone, if you're joining us here in the chat room, we definitely got a packed room in there. Hopefully we'll get a lot of cool talk as we're going on through the end. We always get lots of funny things to laugh at as we're going on through the show. But also, if you'd like to join us here on the show itself, you can dial in at the phone number, area code 760-512-7247. That's area code 760-512-7247. You can also join us via Skype. If you're on the broadcast page, look at the little Skype icon at the top there. You click that, it opens up your Skype application, and you call right into us. Very easy, very quick and simple, and a good way to avoid long-distance charges if you don't have that free on your phone or you live in the California locale. So, guys, let's get right into talking about Monday Night Raw because it was an awesome show. I don't even know where to start.
You start at the beginning. Holy shit, how did this start, Mike Paden?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just saying, just how did this start?
Okay, I guess that is the most exciting thing to talk about. We started off with a brief recap of the last night's events that happened at Hell in a Cell. And the first person to greet us, the returning champion, John Cena. Well, he's not a returning champion, but he's a returning dude, and he became a champion last night, the World Heavyweight Champion. His music hits, he makes his entrance, he makes a fine promo about how he's back, and he worked really hard, and he's never going to give up, and yada, yada. Your typical John Cena promo. Honestly, I enjoyed it, only because it's still fresh, and we probably haven't gotten annoyed from having it on every week just yet, but it was good to see it now. But, followed up, just as he's about to make his exit, Damien Sandow's music hits. Charges down to the ring. He teases his cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. And he acts like he's not going to in the end, though. But as he's walking away, he cheap shots John Cena, beats him down with the briefcase using the steel steps as well, steel chair, gives the mother of all beatdowns onto John Cena. Ends up actually cashing it in, calls a referee down. But here's where they made their mistake. To a freaking commercial just as he was cashing in. Outrageous.
Yeah, definitely agree. I mean, it killed the entire buzz in the chat room that we was in. We was all so pumped and excited, and they just dashed our dreams in one fell swoop.
Let's get down to the facts. They went to 3 freaking commercials during the entire match.
Yeah, when we come back to the match, we get a good back-and-forth competition for a bit there, but pretty quickly, I mean, it felt like 2 or 3 minutes, we're already at another commercial break.
Yep. I mean, in television, there's no better way to kill a mood than with a commercial break. You leave everybody in suspense, and then boom.
So it was a really competitive match in the end, though. Damien Sandow hits every finisher he can on him. He ends up putting the crossface on him. He hits the new full Nelson slam. He's doing that. He's calling the "You're Welcome," which is the first time I've heard him actually have a name for it, which that's an apt name. I can appreciate it. And it's a lot better than the what was he using, that neck breaker thing? I don't even know if that had a name.
Well, he did use it in the match. He just didn't try and finish with it, I don't think.
It doesn't have a name, but the only move that he had a name for before the "You're Welcome" was the Kobito Akiet.
God bless you.
Well, yes, sneeze. But it means the elbow of disdain.
So at one point we ended up getting a chant of "This is awesome" from the crowd. Cena wins in the end with an attitude adjustment. Sandow, however, does not come off looking like a total loser. I think this is the best Sandow has looked his entire career. He stood toe-to-toe, and he hanged with John Cena. Granted, it was not a 100% John Cena, but he took him to the limit. And honestly, there was a lot of points in this match where I thought Sandow had it.
Yeah, go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is the most legitimate that Damien Sandow has ever looked. I was all for it. I was really disappointed because I kind of saw from the get-go Cena's going to kind of hit an attitude adjustment out of nowhere and win this. But they suspended my belief longer than I thought they would. And in the end, John Cena got the win, but he might actually do more for Damien Sandow than just getting a cheap win. It really depends on what WWE does with him from this point onwards. They can go two ways. They can not really acknowledge that he had a great competition with Cena and continue him doing his abysmal streak of losses, or they can bring him into the title picture and try and make him a star.
All right, with that, guys, we got a caller on the line here, a man by the name of Mr. Bryan Viner. Brian, you on the line there? We got you?
Yeah, what I don't understand is they stopped him down from beating down John Cena to start the match. And isn't it when you're going to cash in, aren't you supposed to be beating him down? I mean, isn't that the whole point? Is the wrestler's supposed to be down when you come down with that with the cash in to turn it in. I mean, they're sitting there, they're stopping it down to have the official look at him. I'm sorry, but the whole point is John Cena's supposed to be beat down when you bring the cash in.
Brian,
yeah, they have done it before. I remember where they wait until the champion has to at least get to his feet. They won't wait until he's completely come to anything, but they will at least make sure he can get to his feet and stand there for a period before they make the match start.
Not when Randy Orton turned in.
Yeah, Brian has a good point. For a bit, they just let the Money in the Bank contract holder just come down.
Wait. Are you saying there's inconsistency in pro wrestling?
No way. What?
Wow.
No. That's not like they just changed the rules on Money in the Bank or whatever.
I guess it depends on the situation.
No, it doesn't, because the situations are always the same, except for John Cena, who came down and let CM Punk, not RVD, thank you, JBL, know for a week that he was going to cash in. Like, every situation with the Money in the Bank has been spontaneous, and like it pretty much caught everybody off guard, even those people who thought they saw it coming, quote unquote. Like, everybody who has come down before they let the champion get in the ring and get on his feet. Oh yes, that's when they start the match. But before that, they just let Edge come in and do whatever the fuck he wanted.
All right, Paul. Brian, actually, no, that's okay. Brian, did you actually enjoy the match throughout with Damien Sandow and John Cena? In the end, do you think Damien Sandow came out the stronger with this?
Yes, absolutely. I think they should definitely put him in the world title hunt. I mean, I've always liked Damien Sandow. He's actually one of the better wrestlers on the SmackDown, or SmackDown, if you want to call that roster, wrestlers. I think he's better than Alberto Del Rio, personally. I mean, just so much better potential overall. Also, another good one to put in that title hunt would be Big E Langston. I know they're throwing the rookie tag on him, but sorry, he's got the look, he's got the size, and he can be a beast.
Absolutely, man. So what did you think about the final segment we had just going off the air with the Big Show coming down and finally getting a little bit of revenge on the Orton regime, or the Triple H regime, I should say?
Well, personally, I think it's all leading up to Hogan coming in as the quote-unquote new owner of WWE, kind of like they did when WCW and all that, when Flair came in for a little while as the quote-unquote co-owner of WWE. I think we're leading up to the point of, Paul Wright, Big Show, winning the litigation or whatever it is in the storyline, whether he does or does not. I mean, it's all, I like it. I mean, personally, I don't like Big Show crying all the time, but if they're going to bring back the Beast, I like to see that.
Wow, that's an awesome thought. I never even thought of that. I thought Big Show was going to do some kind of Survivor Series where he teamed up with the Rhodes, Miz, and maybe, I want to say it's either Ziggler or somebody else, versus the Wyatt, or Bray Wyatt and Kane and the entire Shield. That's a very interesting idea. I like that idea. That's a good idea.
All right, Brian, anything else stick out in your mind about tonight's Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, go Summer Rae, but other than that,
Well, let me ask you, Brian, what was your high point of tonight's Raw and your low point of tonight's Raw?
High points would be the Wyatt family, always awesome. I don't care if they took out both CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Low points would always be anything that has to do with the Great Khali and Hornswoggle. Sorry.
That's very fair. All right, Brian.
You have no disagreements on that.
Absolutely. Brian, thanks so much for calling in, man. Good call. Have a good night, man. All right, fellas. We were last talking about the Damien Sandow cash-in on John Cena. Damien Sandow ending up being the first person to ever cash in his Money in the Bank and lose. Yes, John Cena cashed in and was unsuccessful, but he didn't technically lose. Damien Sandow was pinned. 100% failure on his part with this cash-in of Money in the Bank. Poor Damien Sandow, but as I said before, in the end, I think Sandow came out looking the better for this. So why don't we take a round of the hosts we got here and get your guys' thoughts about what went down here. Tony, why don't you start us off?
I think it's hard to argue that he didn't come out looking better than he did before, but I still think that this was done a little bit, I don't want to say bad. I was going to go with that, but it's not necessarily bad. I think that they could have done this better, is what I should say instead. The problem that I have with it isn't necessarily that Sandow didn't win. It's how John Cena won. I don't like the idea that John Cena can have this injury and get his ass kicked and have this injury targeted, and they still run into that same situation where he runs like a madman around the ring and doesn't sell what happened beforehand. I mean, John Cena at one point in the match picks him up, gives him an AA, and he just kind of wiggles his arm a little bit like, man, that stung a little bit. And it's like, well, you're supposed to be so fucking out of it that you can't move your arm. And you're wiggling your arm like it just fell asleep and you're trying to get the pins and needles sensation out. Like, that kind of stuff bothers me. And if you're going to have him retain against Damien Sandow, I think the better way to do it would have been Cena to get a cheap win over Sandow. Maybe Sandow just calculates something the slightest bit off and Cena can get a roll-up. And that's how you can make him look that much better. Because now with this, what did we get later on in the night? We have Del Rio come out, say, oh, he's a fucking gringo. I don't give a shit what he did. I'm still going to get my title shot. And Michael Cole running it down as the valiant champion John Cena was able to beat all the odds, and Sandow, screw him. So that's the disappointment that I have with it. But segment-wise, I thought that it was a really entertaining way to start off the show. So hopefully they do capitalize on this and they give Damien Sandow something decent to go with after this, and we don't just have a triple threat match at Survivor Series and then a singles match between Sandow and John Cena at TLC, and then Cena just moves on to somebody else, because that'll really make Damien Sandow look like a piece of shit. But if they continue this and they really start building Sandow up instead of just keeping that backwards momentum since he won the Money in the Bank, then it'll be worth it.
All right, guys, we got a caller on the line actually before we go around to the rest of the... Nope, they just disappeared. So bringing on a caller from 631. We apologize. We just missed you. I was just about to bring you on, actually. Please call back in. We'll definitely get you on next time. So let me continue going around here. Paul, what did you think about tonight's cash-in attempt?
I thought the cash-in attempt was awesome. He beat him down. He was the intellectual savior of the Money in the Bank, which he preached the entire time he had that briefcase. I was really, really, really pleased with the entire match. I mean, they just went at it, and I hate to give props to John Cena, but you know, he did a great job. He did a great job. I was still promised 6 months of no John Cena. I only got 2.
Paul,
I only got 2.
I hate for you to be disappointed again, but I'm going to give you half the time to talk about this because we got a caller from 631 back on, and I don't want him to miss
that
out
sounds
again.
Good. Go ahead. No,
I'll get back to you later. I promise. I promise. Like a John Cena promise. So, caller from 631, we got you on here. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm James. I'm calling from New York. I just want to give my view on the. I just want to give my view on the last night's match between John Cena and Alberto Del Rio.
Oh, totally, man. Go ahead.
Well, last night I actually was watching it on this website, and I was actually watching the match. It didn't seem like that interesting because they weren't even like giving him all the great spots that he normally used to have.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Well, what do you think about John Cena's continued reign as champion now? I mean, how do you feel about Damien Sandow's attempt to take that away from him?
And then, well, I honestly see that wasn't really a good storyline. Like, they were just, in my opinion, I see them just trying to reenact what the Miz did. what Dolph Ziggler did. And that is, after the pay-per-view, cash in and try and win the title, except they didn't let Damien Sandow go over.
Do you truly feel Damien Sandow should have won that title tonight?
No.
No, okay.
Wow.
But,
no, I don't.
Do you think he looked good tonight, though?
Yes, he does. He did.
Okay. James, let me ask you, what was your high point tonight on Raw, and what was your low point tonight on Raw?
All right, my high point was the confrontation between Daniel Bryan and Shawn Michaels. And my low point would have to be pretty much the match between the Real Americans and Los Matadores.
Aww.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Only for one reason, and it's a reason that I go with is because the Real Americans, I've honestly seen them as a tag team deserve to be a part of a tag team match of Los Matadores style or even ranking.
Wait, can you explain that further?
Yes, I can. I mean, like, Los Matadores are like high fives, are like crazy actors, and Real Americans, I don't honestly feel that way with them. Like they're a good team, they're good together, but their entire gimmick, it just doesn't interest me.
So you feel the Real Americans should be recognized more, but the Matadores, they're getting too much recognition.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I understand that now. Okay, cool.
All right, James, thanks a lot for calling in, man.
Thank you for having me.
All right, have a good night, dude. All right, Paul, sorry we interrupted you, man. Please your thoughts about Damien Sandow's cash-in.
Look, it was one of the best cash-ins that I've seen in years. I mean, I know he cashed in after beaten down, but it harkens back to the days of where Edge would cash in at the most opportune moment. He cashed in right after he beat John Cena's ass. And you heard the crowd in Orlando. Everybody was saying, yes. I mean, there were John Cena fans in the crowd, but everybody was into it. I mean, what a way to start off Raw. We haven't had a way to start off Raw like that in a long time. It was genius for the McMahons not to involve themselves until the end of the show. That is what I will say.
Corey Krause in the chat room says, it was a great cash-in. I did not see it coming. Have to agree with him. This is not the way I saw Raw starting off. So you have to think if Damien Sandow was going to cash in at any point, it would have been immediately after the match last night. But no, John Cena comes out to make his big speech at the beginning of the show, and down comes Damien Sandow all the way at the end of it. It was very well done, in my opinion. Last person to check out, I know you got to say a little bit before, but Steven, you got anything else you wanted to add?
I think it was just a great performance, and I enjoyed every moment of it. I thought it was a breakout moment for Damien Sandow for the most part. I loved before he rammed him into the barricade, or was it the steel steps where he shouted, "Rise above this, John," or something like that. I thought it was very well done, and I'm hoping that WWE sees that this guy can go with a guy like John Cena and utilize him. I mean, you know when they was just cutting the promo between each other? Damien Sandow, I didn't realize how big Damien Sandow was.
I was going to say, do we have any record that Damien Sandow was actually taller than John Cena?
John Cena's really, not that tall.
Yeah, but he didn't look out of place against John Cena is what I'm saying.
No.
No, but I'm still saying, like, Damien Sandow came down to the ring, and we were all surprised. We were like, damn, is he taller than Cena? Is he bigger than Cena?
But, I think Sandow had a great performance, and he looked like he belonged in there, and that's what the important thing was coming out of this. As long as they utilize him right after this, should be a great run for Sandow.
So John Cena is 6'1", Damien Sandow is 6'4".
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's actually impressive.
Can we figure out the number of how much weight he gains when he puts on that T-shirt? 2 nights in a row when he puts on that T-shirt, he looks like he's got pillows smuggled underneath it.
Wait, are you talking about Big E Langston? Or I'm gonna look. No, I'm sorry. That's a joke.
What?
Yeah, I totally lost you there on that one.
You put on weight underneath your T-shirt. I was thinking about Big E Langston's boobs.
Well, you know what I call that? I call that a segue. Actually, that's not going to be a segue. Well, it is going to be a segue. We got a caller on the line. I'm going to bring him on. Caller from 240. Caller, what's your name and where you're calling from?
It's Jeff Krupp. I'm calling from Maryland.
Oh, what's up, Jeff? How you doing, man? What'd you think of Raw tonight?
It could have been better.
Okay. What was your favorite part about Raw tonight?
Well, I had to say my favorite part was the Big Show destroying Randy Orton.
Okay, what was your least favorite part of Raw tonight?
Kane taking off the mask.
Oh, that was pretty depressing. What did you think about the cash-in tonight of Damien Sandow on John Cena?
I thought Sandow should have won it.
Why do you think Sandow should have won it?
Well, I think they didn't give much of a chance for Bryan to, be the star of WWE. They just basically pushed him aside and said, he's not getting the ratings that Cena got, so we need to bring Cena back. So they basically brought Cena back just to be the star again and gave him that World Heavyweight title just so he could be the star of WWE. And then they put the belt on Randy Orton because they saw that Daniel Bryan, what they saw was Daniel Bryan wasn't doing rating-wise. So I guess they thought Sandow wouldn't do well with it either. So I guess that's why they didn't have him win.
So, Krupp, let me ask you, at this point, what matches do you hope to see at the upcoming Survivor Series pay-per-view?
Well, later, pushing it, I guess it will probably either see HBK have it leading a team or on the sideline of a team of Triple H's team or something, and Daniel Bryan and Punk versus the Wyatt family maybe, or a couple other people added on to it.
Oh, okay, cool, man. Jeff, we appreciate you calling in, man. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, we got a lot of callers tonight. We really appreciate everyone calling in. Once again, if you're listening and you want to join us here live on the Monday Night Raw post show on Mega Powers Radio, you could do so via phone at area code 760-512-7247. That's area code 760-512-7247, or by clicking on the little Skype icon on our broadcast page. It'll launch your Skype application and tune you right in. We also have a chat room going on. Lots of cool people talking in there. Talking about Stephanie McMahon's
titties. Her titties.
Yeah.
It must have been a little cold.
We'll pull this
in that
conversation back over to Big E Langston. Tonight, he was supposed to have a U.S. title match once again with Dean Ambrose. However, soon after the match started, the rest of the Shield members interfered, pulled Big E Langston out of the ring, and caused the disqualification. Vicky Guerrero came down and did her best Teddy Long impression and turned it into a tag match, player. So we had the Shield versus the Usos, and Big E Langston was a pretty good match, I would say. I always enjoy these big Shield six-man matches. Usos have been excellent partners for them. The chemistry between them has been great. Big E Langston, I'm really enjoying his face turn. I think he's only going to get better with time as well. This match ends, though, with a double spear by Roman Reigns, showing once again what an absolute beast that guy is. So another win for the Shield. Thank goodness, because they've been on the losing end of a lot of things lately, and the last thing they did was another random six-man tag loss. But good match. Excellent match. Everyone looked good here, I think. Why don't we go around and get your thoughts about it? Tony, why don't you start us off, dude?
Did you really just segue between Stephanie McMahon talk and Big E Langston without mentioning the Big E Cups?
Those damn boobs.
I thought this was a good match. I mean, I was a little bit disappointed when the typical Brad Maddox came out and said, "Oh, you know what? I got a solution for this tag team match." You know, but it ended up becoming a good match out of it, and the Usos are really just kind of keeping this momentum going for them. For a team that really wasn't doing much before they started pushing them a couple months ago, they're taking the ball with this, and they're rolling, and they just keep kind of making themselves stay relevant, which is really good. The Shield, of course, they were entertaining as always. Roman Reigns, beast with that spear. He was just, fuck this, I'm just going to win the match already. The hell with you, Seth Rollins. You keep losing all our matches. I'm just going to take out both guys, and you can sit in the corner and cry. I'm curious where they're going to go with the Shield after the tag team championship situation kind of dies down, but at the very least, we know we've got Dean Ambrose and Big E Langston for quite a while after this. So, all thumbs up from my end.
I really have to wonder what happened with Curtis Axel and why they decided to switch Big E Langston over to fighting with Dean Ambrose.
I don't know. I think that they might have just thought, you know what, we're just going to give him the United States title because we can't think of anything to do with Ambrose, and we need to just get something for Ambrose out there, so we'll do that instead. And Curtis Axel, if we push him off to the back burner, nobody's really going to care. But it's been too long since Dean Ambrose has had something to do.
And how about that pre-match backstage segment where we had the Shield members backstage, where Dean Ambrose was speaking of the upcoming match, saying that he will defeat Big E. Then it pans over to Seth Rollins, who seems completely concerned with the upcoming U.S. title match. Didn't make one mention, though, of eventually getting their revenge on Goldust and Cody Rhodes and getting their tag team titles back.
You guys are missing the whole picture. It's going to be the Rhodes plus Miz plus Big E plus Big Show versus the Shield, the entire Shield, versus Bray Wyatt and not Randy Orton. Who am I?
Wait, you think there's going to be a 3-way Survivor Series match?
No, a 5-way, because it's always a 10-man.
Because 3 ain't enough, he needs 5.
I am completely losing you there. Steven, why don't you take over, man? What did you think about the matchup between Big E, Langston, Dean Ambrose leading into the 6-man and all that crazy stuff that went down?
Well, they've cut it down to a 10-man, haven't they? To the Survivor Series, they've cut it down to a 10-man. A 10-way Survivor Series.
They do whatever they want this year.
Well, yeah, but
we're moving on.
Based on the authority.
We're moving on, Paul.
Okay, all right.
It's okay. I didn't want to talk anyway. Yeah, but I enjoyed the match. It was pretty solid. It was nice to see Braddock's taking the Teddy Long role this week. And yeah, there's not much more to say than it was a solid match. I'm glad the Shield got put over because I think they needed a bit more than the Usos and Big E. The Usos are in a spot where you can just throw them a couple of wins 2 weeks and people will be into them again. You can sacrifice them having a loss as opposed to guys like the Shield. I think they needed it, especially after the whole Rhodes loss and Ambrose coming out of the pay-per-view not looking too strong either. So, yeah, it was the right move.
All right, Paul, your opinions about the events of tonight with Big E, Langston, the Usos, and the Shield?
I thought it was very pivotal. I mean, Big E Langston could obviously become the U.S. Championship. I don't know if you could overcome his camel toe. It's just kind of awkward. And
what?
It's not just his camel toe. It's his appearance. We've all agreed that his appearance is just kind of awkward. And
he looks goofy.
Yes, he looks goofy. Thank you. But I think he could be a good champion. I really do, despite his outfit, despite how he looks. Put him as a champion.
What does this have to do with camel toe?
Okay, let's not ignore the junk in the room. We have all seen his junk in his tights. Let's not just play around this and act like it never happened. His junk is a problem.
To the listeners, Paul's views does not represent our own.
I'm too busy when he noticing when he puts the straps down and you see his giant boobies.
It's a problem. It's a problem. Not only his boobies, but his junk is a problem.
Wouldn't the U.S. title be perfect for him then because it points down and it kind of covers that?
No, it's not. It's not perfect for him. Because I'm uncomfortable looking at it.
I'm uncomfortable talking about this, so we're going to move on.
No, he has the male version of camel toe.
Against junk.
He has the male version of camel toe.
Okay.
It's just awful. It's awful.
Wouldn't it be a camel hump?
Okay. All right. Okay. It would be a camel hump, but I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see it at all.
Then don't look.
Absolutely. Because it's unavoidable. And you all have seen it. And you can't tell me that you haven't.
This is terrible conversation. We're moving on. So one of the biggest questions I think we had out of last night's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, what the heck was running through the mind of Shawn Michaels? So Shawn Michaels comes out first. He invites Daniel Bryan out to explain himself face-to-face like a man. Daniel Bryan, however, doesn't take Shawn Michaels' excuse as acceptable. Shawn Michaels basically says, I saw what you did to my best friend, and above all else, I had to do what was right for my best friend. And hey, I get it. But no, Daniel Bryan was a selfish turd, and he pretended to shake the hand of Shawn Michaels, a prestigious thing that someone should be able to do, to shake the hand of a Hall of Famer in the ring on live television. Daniel Bryan, ungrateful, pulls Shawn Michaels down, puts him in the yes lock, and nothing else happened. Daniel Bryan ends up going to the back, though, and he gets attacked by the Wyatt family, strangely out of nowhere. At the end of the attack, Bray Wyatt says, the devil made me do it. And so a lot of events happening all at once here for Daniel Bryan. So where's he going? Is he going to go into a fight with the Wyatt family now? Or is he continuing his quest against Randy Orton and the Triple H regime? Or is he just going to be doing lots of things at once? And are we going into like crazy TNA booking? Because I don't know what the heck just went down tonight. But guys, go around, get your thoughts about this. I mean, I know we at least got to be excited to have Shawn Michaels involved in some way. Tony, I know you got to be.
Oh, he's the best ever. Come on. Even that promo that he cut when he was just like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he just kind of said like, yo, fuck you. Can you just shake my hand already, you little bastard? It was just like, just do it, Daniel Bryan. Come on, he's Shawn fucking Michaels.
What did he call him, a little puke?
A little pissant or something? I don't know. Whatever it was, he was right. He should have just super kicked him. If you're going to have Shawn Michaels cost him the match, you might as well turn him heel afterward. And it's hard to have to boo Shawn Michaels, so of course we're sitting there going, yeah, fuck you, Daniel Bryan, which is total opposite of what we should be doing. But at the same time, if you're going to have to turn Shawn Michaels heel and do all that, he pulled it off tonight. And I don't know where they're going to necessarily go to keep Daniel Bryan in that big picture, because the way I'm looking at it right now is a little bit different from Paul's lineup, but I'm thinking we're getting the two members of the Wyatt family that seem to wrestle, because Bray Wyatt never does for the most part, and he's injured, along with Rollins and Reigns and Kane facing off against Daniel Bryan, The Miz, Cody Rhodes, Goldust, and CM Punk. And those are the two teams of 5 people that we're going to see at Survivor Series. I don't know where they go from there for TLC, if we're going to still see the Wyatt family against Daniel Bryan or Punk or Miz or anybody like that. But I think this is going to be that step back that Daniel Bryan takes, and then I don't know where we go from there. But I think it's pretty obvious that he's not going to be in the main event, judging by the end of tonight's episode.
Steven, your thoughts about that tonight?
This segment kind of came out of nowhere. I was really confused by the whole Shawn Michaels demeanor and stuff. I had no idea where they was going to go with this angle from the get-go. I loved it, though. Shawn getting put in the yes lock. Thought it was cool. I'm glad that Daniel Bryan just didn't shake his hand and bygones be bygones. Honestly, I expected Shawn to super kick him before he laid his hands on Shawn. As far as the Wyatt family attack goes, that really threw me off. Then I realized that the next pay-per-view is going to be Survivor Series, and they're just trying to have an excuse to throw him into one of those matches. So obviously you're going to see CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and whoever goes with them against the Wyatt family. Overall, I actually enjoyed all the segments. I'm finally interested in the Wyatt family again. They've given me something to actually get invested in, as opposed to just the random 2-week bills they've had in the past. And as soon as I did see Daniel Bryan assaulted backstage, my foot immediately went to Team Hell No due to Kane's participation with the Wyatt family in the past. I thought maybe they're going to have like a couple of weeks being reunited again and battle the Wyatt family, but obviously that got pissed away later on in the night. So I'm confused where exactly they're going, but it obviously leads to Survivor Series, and Daniel Bryan isn't in the main event picture.
Mr. Paul, how do you feel about tonight's interaction with Shawn Michaels and Daniel Bryan?
I think Daniel Bryan was totally just in everything he did. I understand that Shawn Michaels was trying to protect his friend. I mean, I understood that from the minute that he delivered that sweet chin music. I mean, it was obvious. To anybody who hasn't watched Triple H and Shawn Michaels, it's, I mean, come on. You have to be an idiot to not understand that. But, I understand why Daniel Bryan put Shawn Michaels in the yes lock, or the Be No It lock. Benoit. I call him Be No It just because he killed his family. But,
okay.
I'll go there. Whatever. You can call me out on that, but I'll go there. Be No It. That's what I see him as. But
it doesn't make sense to me.
Be No It. Be nothing it.
Paul makes no sense to me. He's on
this
tonight.
is completely lost on me.
Segue.
Okay. Whatever. Don't cut me off. Because I understand why Daniel Bryan did it. Because he looked up to Shawn Michaels his entire time. And now he gets in the middle of his friends and he becomes collateral damage. Oh, well. Shawn Michaels has made Triple H collateral damage. And this whole thing, Daniel Bryan should be WWE champion, and they just don't want him to be. And Shawn Michaels isn't part of the corporation, but he's part of Triple H's little circle and whatever. I mean, come on, we all know what's happening here.
There's apparently a lot of junk talk. Corey Krause says, great segment, but I couldn't stop looking at Daniel Bryan's junk. What is with you guys tonight? You're giving wrestling fans a bad name.
He gives Brie Bella the yes lock.
Well, speaking of things that probably embarrassed wrestling fans.
Brie Bella loves the yes lock. We
had a handicap tag team match between the tag team of Los Matadores going against the three-piece of the three-man band. This is a fun little tag match. Los Matadores ended up getting the victory. Throughout it, Heath Slater brought down a net, chased around El Torito, but eventually the net ended up being used on Heath Slater, all in good fun. Lots of PG, good comedy, Looney Tunes type goodness. Everyone on the internet, I'm sure, absolutely loves it. I enjoyed it because I can enjoy a fun comedy little skit like this, but I don't know. How harsh are you guys going to be on this, Steven?
I'm just laughing at Mango. Fucking no means no luck, but as far as this match goes, I'm not a big fan of the slapstick comedy. I don't mind WWE doing comedy when it comes from something genuinely being funny rather than trying to force it. This match did nothing for me. I saw where it was going. I went for a piss and when I got back. So, yeah, no love for this match. I know you liked it. You wouldn't shut up about it in the chat, but yeah,
Ole!
Not my thing.
I'm going to get an Ole sound effect put on our soundboard.
Ole!
And I shall remove it.
Tony, how'd you feel about this tag match?
I like the net. That was kind of interesting. I don't really know about the match itself. There's positives and negatives to it. If you're a fan of the kind of gimmick stuff like that, then it's entertaining, but I don't want to see too much of it. And I'm fine with that, but it was just a little weird. I don't know.
Paul, are you a little more positive about this than everyone else? Are you a Los Matadores fan?
I am a Los Matadores fan. I mean, El Torito gored a guy in the butt. I mean, I honestly am a Los Matadores fan, even though they're kind of shitting on the Cologne's Puerto Rican history. I am a fan.
We saw how well that's worked out for other people.
Well, yes, but I mean, I am a fan of what they are doing. I like the Los Matadores theme. I do. I really do.
El Torito especially is a lot of fun. I can't wait till they start getting him a little bit more involved, as they already are. I mean, they're already having him attack people throughout the matches, but if they could actually get someone to face him, preferably not Hornswoggle, someone that's actually another trained mini, I'm excited to see what those matches could bring.
Just a brief note, when it comes to comedy and pro wrestling, there's a right way to do it in my eyes, and it's a guy like Colt Cabana, if you watch him on the indie scene, or heck, even Santino, when he books it, when his matches are booked the right way. That's the right way you do comedy. This was just too much for me.
Okay, well, the crowd is chanting Ole, so they're getting behind it. If you want to
that isn't piped in.
If you want to be a freaking Stan Marsh where everything's just...
Yeah,
that's all you hear, and they turn the radio on. That could be.
This is Big Harry and Mike in the morning talking about.
What is up with this episode tonight? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, this is like the most callers we've ever had. We're never going to call back in again.
Why didn't we talk about this kind of crude stuff when we didn't like Raw the past couple of episodes? We actually kind of like this episode, and it's like, let's just make fart jokes.
Because we...
Yeah, let's just talk about Biggie Langston's cock.
No, it's because we actually like this episode and it makes us smile.
Yes, indeed. All right, so we had a tag team matchup between AJ Lee and Tamina going against the Bella Twins. AJ Lee ends up getting the Black Widow on Nikki for the tap out. AJ and Tamina continue looking strong. The Bella Twins possibly still in the hunt going against AJ Lee, but I don't know. I don't care. Tony?
I just want to see AJ put the Black Widow on somebody when R-Truth is near ringside so he can flip out.
Over what?
Spiders.
No. Oh. I'm just... Well, I was just wondering because, I mean, come on.
Did anyone just
hear really,
did anyone just hear a penny drop?
I just heard wind rush right over Paul's head.
Well, I mean, does anyone else really associate that with AJ's fucking Black Widow? It doesn't really make sense now that she, doesn't reference that anymore.
Huh?
Shut up, Paul.
She just references it in her matches. That's all. That's all, and R-Truth doesn't even acknowledge it. I mean, really, come on.
So is R-Truth just supposed to come down to the ring and be like, AJ, you better stop doing that Black Widow. I don't like spiders.
No, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
and he's never acknowledged it before. Why should he acknowledge it now?
This discussion got way too serious than it fucking should have been.
For a really lame spider joke that I had just set up.
I just saying.
I expected it to be like a Mango with his stupid puns again kind of thing. That would be it.
All right, I think we spent enough time talking about Damien, so we'll move on to the returning Kane, who returned last night at last night's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Came out for a matchup with The Miz. Pretty short. Miz was still banged up from last night's events, or actually from, I should say, Friday's events, being beat up by the Wyatt family. I missed what actually happened after this match. I went to make some chicken or something, and when I came back, Kane was in the ring with a mic talking to Stephanie McMahon. Then he walks up, he hands her his mask and hair, and then just disappears. I'm just left thinking, what? So perhaps, Steven, can you clear me up on what I might have missed here?
Okay, so The Miz came down, he was all banged up, beaten up, got choke slammed in a matter of like 2 minutes in the match. Kane wins, and then he goes, I'm calling out Stephanie McMahon. That makes sense, you're feuding with the Wyatt family. Okay. Next thing I know, he's fucking saying that you being a bitch to everyone's best for business, so here's my mask and hair. Seems fucking legit.
So it's kind of like he was turning in his gear and quitting.
But no, he said some weird comment where he said, the monster, it's best for business, you being a bitch is basically best for business, so the monster is yours to unleash, and gave it the fucking wig and head, like, mask. I don't fucking get it. I got no way to predict what the hell this is all about. Yeah, it was a bit of a mindfucking out of nowhere.
Tony, can you shed some light on this?
Well, basically, Steven just gave a whole big rundown of what happened, but the couple of things that I'm curious about, excuse me, are, first off, he's feuding with, or at least he seemed like he was going to be feuding with the Wyatt family, and we didn't have too much of a build-up with that feud, so we were kind of assuming that when he would come back, that would really pick it up and kind of cap this off. And he attacked them last night on the pay-per-view, but now it seems like he's kind of going to be teaming with them, and that's very awkward. I don't know if they're just going to skip over that and hope that we forget about it or what. But another thing I thought was really weird was him handing in the hair and the mask, especially because they didn't just kind of have, like, he could, like, leave, take the mask off and not have the hair attached to it, and maybe they can do some kind of thing where they're like, look, even Kane was able to shave his head and join with the rest of the corporation that we have, to not show that he's got the mask and the hair is fake and everything. That was a little weird. And the picture of Stephanie standing there on the stage holding the Kane mask with the hair, and she looks like all kind of like happy, like, hey, I could use this wig or something.
First she felt awkward, and then she kind of raised it up with this weird look on her face.
Right.
I think this was just to fuck everyone over that's brought 2K14. Updated roster, Kane's taking his mask off.
I don't know where they're going to go.
And we figured out his hair wasn't real. Big deal.
I don't know where they're going to go from here, but I'm assuming, and this is a shot in the dark, that Kane is going to be the next competitor that we're going to see CM Punk face off against while we wait until he wins the Royal Rumble.
All right, so we got a caller on the line again. Once again, joining us, Mr. Bryan Biner. Brian, what's on your mind now, dude?
Yeah, on the Kane thing, I think this is where they're going to go. Kane. My personal thing is, if Kane's the monster for them, then why didn't he call Kane out when Big Show was following on everybody at the end of the show?
That's a good question.
You guys want to take that one?
I fucking missed what he said.
Brian, can you repeat your question for Steven, please?
Basically, if Kane's their monster, why didn't they call Kane out to take on Big Show?
Well, because he wasn't their monster. She's offering his service to them just now.
Yeah, she wants Kane to take out the people who Kane can take out. And honestly, she doesn't want Kane and the Big Show versus each other. I mean, come on.
Well, I think the real reason behind this is because they're building towards Kane not being involved with Big Show. Big Show is going to be the next challenger for Randy Orton. So if they put those two together, you're going to want to see Kane and Big Show rather than Randy Orton and Big Show.
Plus, if they do a story like this, Big Show will destroy Kane. Like Big Show. Big Show. No, I'm talking story-wise. Big Show has got this class action lawsuit versus the McMahons. You know, if he wins, he's going to take all the money from the McMahons. But if the McMahons just hire him back, you know, they can hire him as a opponent for the Big Show. But Big Show's still going to try and do whatever he can to win.
I got this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I know why he's taking the fucking mask off. Remember back during the original See No Evil, he had some stupid fucking gimmick following that?
Oh, yeah.
It's probably just another fucking push for his movie again. They're probably going to do some batshit stupid gimmick. It totally just passed my mind, but it's just clicked. It's going to be something to do with that. The only time they do something this fucking obscure is when he's trying to promote something, so that's what it's going to be about.
So stupid See No Evil 2.
Fear
As
no
always. Or yeah, whatever it is. Watch No Evil because we won't be seeing it. Anything WWE.
Movie promotion.
Oh, horrible. It's like The Rock all over again.
All right, Brian. Anything else on your mind, man?
That's it.
All right. Thanks a lot for calling again, dude. Have a good night.
You too.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, guys, let's move on from this weirdo Kane. Let's move on to some other weirdos. The Primetime Players, we got to see them backstage. This time they were the people of the week selling the WWE merchandise. This was a fun little segment. Titus O'Neil had his whistle blowing. Darren Young was wild and crazy, trying to sling merch at us. Last week we had R-Truth. This week we had the Primetime Players. I'm guessing that this is going to be a rotating thing where they just slot people in there and see who works. I don't know. I enjoyed the Primetime Players tonight. Tony, did you like these guys in there tonight?
Nobody's going to do a better job at selling than Dolph Ziggler, so they should just get to the point. It was okay. I mean, R-Truth, it was really weird, and Primetime Players, they were really odd too. But what the hell? If you're going to try to get a way to for people to buy stuff from WWE Shop, I'd rather see something like this where we can showcase the characters than to just have some generic commercial. So what the hell? If you're going to do it in that kind of way. And I'm curious to see who does it next week, because it's sure as hell not going to be somebody like Justin Gabriel or Tyson Kidd or whatever who can't really cut a promo for the most part.
Let's make some predictions here. I think someone said Kofi Kingston earlier. That's probably a good one. But
yeah, because it's all the black guys they're using.
It could be Kofi. It could very well be Santino Marella.
Santino would be a good one. How about like Rey Mysterio?
I don't know.
El Torito?
El Torito.
Torito. I'd love to see like the people that we don't expect doing it though. Like just out of nowhere, they use one of his appearances and they get Brock Lesnar to come back and do it.
Can we talk about their loss of Mark Henry? They don't have their token black guy.
Well, keeping with the whole not doing that kind of thing.
No. Don't avoid that. Don't try and skimp away from that element. They don't have Mark Henry. They don't have their token black guy.
They have lots of other black guys. Mark Henry's not the only black guy.
They don't have a lot of other black guys. They have Kofi Kingston and Big E Langston.
And R-Truth and Primetime Players.
R-Truth. Oh, yeah. Let's
just
count
named like
more.
5 other people.
They don't. No, they don't. No.
The Funkadactyls.
Oh, yeah, the Funkadactyls. Yeah,
Alicia Fox.
Oh, yeah, because she's taken seriously. No. You guys have no idea how hard it is to be a black superstar. No. Rocky. Okay, no. Rocky Johnson.
For his fellow black people.
What about Rocky Johnson? Rocky Johnson had to go through a whole lot to become any kind of champion. Okay?
I don't think Rocky Johnson's going to be doing the WWE Shop thing.
I don't care if he's alive today, but back in the day, he had to do a lot. No. I'm going to ask you guys a serious question. When was the last black WWE champion announced? When?
Announced?
When did they make the last black WWE champion? When was the last WWE
champion?
When was the last black WWE champion?
The Rock.
No, he was half black. He was half black.
When was he was last champion at WrestleMania. I was there. He came out with the title. I saw it. It happened.
No. He's not black. He is half black. When was the last...
Oh, okay. Whatever. I'm sure you're the same person.
When was it... No. When was the last pure black WWE champion announced? Never.
Why you
Never.
Guys... Yo, you know what? I don't see in color.
You don't see in color? The WWE sees in color. It does. It does. You go against their track. I'm sorry.
Once again, the views of Paul do not represent myself or Mega Powers Radio.
Truly.
Okay, whatever.
I think what this all boils down to is we all want to see Camacho plug stuff on WWE Shop, right?
Yeah, equal opportunity employer, WWE. Come on. I want to see Yoshitatsu in there. I want to see, I don't know, Sheamus.
Okay, so he was WWE champion twice.
I want to see David Otunga since he showed up tonight for some fucking reason.
Yeah, David Otunga was there tonight reading a legal statement on behalf of the Big Show. And, man, his first time on Raw in how long? And you'd think he would have been a little bit more enthusiastic while reading that legal statement.
He was so dead with
when
that.
When have you met an enthusiastic lawyer?
I'm David Otunga. I'm reading something that they told me to read. I really wish I wasn't here anymore. Big Show, he's going to sue you or something. Can I go? That was really weird.
I guess that's all we were to say about that.
Well, my views on the shop is woo.
Yeah, enough of that. CM Punk comes out. He cuts a boring promo as he has in recent weeks. I couldn't even tell you a single word that he said tonight. Does anyone have anything to add about CM Punk?
What did he do again?
I don't remember. He came out and he talked, but then he ended up having a match with Ryback. Fans voted for it to be a street fight. CM Punk ends up winning after a flying elbow through the table into the Anaconda Vice for the submission victory. Got to think this is the absolute end of the road for Ryback. Guy has not gotten a single victory throughout this whole ordeal.
Can we just end this? Can we just end this with Ryback? I mean, come on. Just get it over with. Skip Sheffield, whatever you want to make him. He's just done. Put CM Punk in a different, rivalry. God.
Corey Krause says, R.I.P. Ryback. Yep, what it do?
Yep, what it did.
What it did.
Put a fork in him, he's done.
Tony?
It's a shame, because I think Ryback has so much more to offer. He might not be, the next big guy that they wanted or anything. He's not going to be some 14-time champion or whatever, but I think that the big problem with this is just that they screwed him from the beginning. Ever since this time last year where they started having this losing streak going on and he lost every single important match for the next year, that was really a hard place to come back from for Ryback. And maybe he's got some kind of heat backstage from, Scoops is telling us that he's kind of an asshole and he doesn't look too happy when he's doing his public appearances or whatever. Maybe not. That could play a huge factor in it. It could be that he's not really the most technically gifted, but at the same time, look at how they gave Khali a championship, or they gave other people that were in that kind of situation a bigger push than Ryback. So it's kind of a shame, but it looks like he's going downhill fast, and I wouldn't be too surprised at all if we see Ryback jobbing by WrestleMania. Flat out jobbing to people, kind of on the same stage that Khali's in right now.
Wow. Steven?
Okay, Paul fried my brain, so let me just get this clear. We're talking about the CM Punk versus Ryback match?
Yes.
Okay, match was so-so, the promo was so-so. The match was so-so, the promo was so-so, and are we touching on the Bray Wyatt stuff yet, or?
We can talk about that, too, yes, indeed. After the match, the Wyatts come down, and they end up making their second attack of the night, this time on CM Punk, and once again, Bray Wyatt credits it, the devil made me do it.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
That was very confusing. I'm sorry. You want to go after The Miz and Kane, and then all of a sudden you want to go after CM Punk? This whole thing was confusing.
Who has a vendetta with all of these people?
I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows his vendetta.
The devil?
With all these, it must be the devil. The devil made me do it. I'm gonna make a left turn. Whatever. You can do whatever you want.
Well, Triple H has a vendetta against Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. So
against the Miz.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? I think that's their booking right now. They're just going,
I can see Triple H just not liking the Miz. Yeah, I just never liked that guy.
I love how fucking the Miz came down to JBL. I was like, is this what did he say? Something like not liking Miz TV or something. I thought it was very fitting because it just seems like no one actually has any love for the Miz at this point.
Not even his dad.
Fucking face.
The only thing that matters is that Maurice has love for the Miz.
Oh, she's so hot. She's so hot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right.
They're still together?
They're getting married.
Oh, snap.
Put a ring on that woman.
You know what the rule is? If you like it, then you got to put a ring on it.
Who wouldn't like that?
Damn right.
So, the Real Americans had a match against the tag team champions, Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Decent little tag team match ends with Jack Swagger actually making Goldust tap with the Patriot Lock. The Real Americans suddenly in tag team title contention. Good news for the Real Americans and for Real Americans fans. Guys, what do you think about it, Paul?
This was kind of a surprise because they haven't had a lot of luck in the last few months. I really like it because, I mean, the Cesaro swing and Jack Swagger is a fantastic athlete. They deserve a tag title shot more than anyone. I mean, I hate to say that in front of the Usos, but they've been around the longest. They do deserve a tag title shot. I'm pretty sure the Rhodes are going to retain, but, go Cesaro and Swagger.
Hashtag weed the people in Steven, how you feel about this situation, man? You want to see the Real Americans challenge Cody Rhodes and Goldust?
It's definitely an interesting matchup. It builds the Rhodes brothers up as a legitimate tag team if they're not going to take the belts off them straight away. So why the hell not? I must say I was disappointed with this match. I expected a lot more when you have guys like Antonio, Cesaro, and Cody Rhodes in the ring. I don't expect much from Jack Swagger, but the rest of the guys in the match they're capable workers. So it was disappointing, but it was.
I thought Cody Rhodes had a really awesome hot tag at one point in the match where he leapt himself up onto the top rope for a springboard onto a person, similar to how Kofi Kingston does whenever he gets the hot tag.
Paden, can I say something about Goldust?
I don't know, can you?
He's looked phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely. Guy can absolutely still go. Possibly the best part of his career he's going through right now.
That's what they said on his interview with WWE.com. I know those things are, usually rigged. But I mean, he has chosen a better path for his body, is what I'm going to say. He has, chosen to, work out a better way than he usually has. And goddamn, he looked really fast tonight. He looked really fast. He looked really athletic tonight. And good for Goldust. I'm going to give him a tribute.
And it's funny because I had a friend over, and she was commenting about, how weird is it seeing a guy like that in a latex suit? I was like, what's even weirder? You should have seen this guy when he was over in TNA, and he was Black Reign, and he was fat as shit, and he was trying to wear a similar latex suit, and he was just bulging at all points in it. You thought it was going to tear at any point he did a move.
Well, when he was with Goldust, he kind of looked that way. I mean, he was on the mend, but we all saw that, and we all kind of thought he looked that way.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else think that when Paul started saying that Goldust looked really good, we were going to get back to the Big E Langston conversation?
No.
Okay, we're not going to get back to the camp.
I worried when he said, "Can I say something about Goldust?" I was like, "Oh hell no, you can't."
Tony,
fuck off, Steven. Fuck off, Steven. You and your damn British bastards who drive on the wrong side of the road.
I think the reasoning behind this match was to put a little bit of groundwork in what happens after Survivor Series. I don't think that we're going to see the Shield keep facing Goldust and Cody Rhodes, so we need some other kind of a tag team to face them afterward, and what better ones than the Real Americans? So they give them this match to kind of see how they work together, and they give the win to Real Americans, so later on they have a little bit more clout when they challenge them. But the feud will be interesting if they go that route, because what is Zeb Coulter going to complain about? Is he going to start talking about how gold people shouldn't be in the United States? Or, Cody Rhodes is somebody who is an American as well, so they can't even do, like, half of the team is from another country or anything like that.
Well,
so,
I have to wonder, there's got to be some, like, old school beef that he can bring up with their daddy and be like, you guys are just a bunch of dumb Southern boys, just like your pappy.
Yeah, you know what? That could be a good way of doing it. And they could just play off the whole Dutch Mantel thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're not going to call it an act.
Or he could just be managing two legitimate athletes that won the tag titles. It doesn't always have to be about fucking silly wrestling.
It does. Because when was the last Black WWE champion, Steven?
Well, come on. Oh, don't laugh.
Shut up.
No. Don't laugh at laugh at that.
I'm going to kill this conversation real fast. We're going to talk about Summer Rae versus Natalya, our singles Divas match tonight. The second Divas match we actually got of the evening, which was pretty interesting. Natalya ended up getting the victory over Summer Rae in the sharpshooter. When this match started, first off, I was like, I didn't even know Summer Rae was wrestling on Raw. I know she did once in a while over on NXT, but apparently she wrestled last night. I missed that one. Must have been while I was in transportation. And yeah, I think it's cool. We got another active diva on the roster. Natalya getting a victory on Raw. We're getting a lot of exposure for her. We had 6 divas involved in competition tonight.
This was the hottest match of the night.
Sure.
Oh, no, don't say sure. No, because Summer Rae is awesome.
Summer Rae is awesome.
And Natalya is pretty awesome herself. And this was, like, seriously, this has got to be one of the hottest matches of the night. And everybody goes silent. Whatever.
No, I was just reading
care.
the chat room, and it's funny. Corey Krause and Bryan the Brain, both at the exact same time, says, yeah, her first match ever, because NXT is not real. Tony, what did you think about this Divas match we had, though?
Natalya's looking pretty good herself, too. I'm not the biggest Natalya fan, but she looks like she might have dropped a little bit of weight or something. And Summer Rae looking fantastic. She actually is pretty impressive in the ring. Not, the best ever or anything like that. I don't want to blow that out of proportion, but she has looked better in these 2 matches than a lot of divas usually do. And that's not just from their debut, but from the overall encompassing career that a lot of them have. I would much rather watch another Summer Rae match right now than to watch a Caitlyn one, for sure.
Oh, goodness gracious, absolutely. How about Caitlyn on the pre-show panel that they had last night?
Oh,
she God.
Was an embarrassment.
No, it wasn't just Caitlyn. It was that whole panel.
The whole panel was pretty bad, but Caitlyn was the coup d'etat of it.
The worst thing about that panel was R-Truth's fucking haircut. Did you fucking see what he was... Have that
Are
weird
you talking
border.
about the sideburns?
Yeah, but he had a sideburn on his fucking head, like the top of his head. The fuck is that?
What I thought was funny is that he was wearing the same suit that he's wearing in the Hell in a Cell poster.
What I thought was funny was after R-Truth started talking and rambling about a bunch of nonsense, Josh Matthews literally laughs, looks at the camera, and just goes like, "What the hell is this?"
He gave
me
this
it's
guy
kind of like being on a show with Paul.
But this match, as far as the Summer Rae and Natalya thing goes, they're working pretty decent together, so I wouldn't mind seeing another one. I don't want them to run it down into the ground and make this something that pops up on Raw and SmackDown for the next 4 months or anything like that, but the divas themselves were good in this match. I just hate seeing Khali and Hornswoggle in any fashion whatsoever, and it's a shame that they're still with Natalya, and she's still holding Khali's hand, even though they acknowledge that she's married to Tyson Kidd on Raw. So I don't know what they're getting with that. I don't know why they think that they need to pair these 3 people up together.
Well, I don't think it's so much that she's supposed to be his boyfriend. I think she's supposed to be more like his aide.
Like a handler, kind of?
Yeah.
That's really sad.
He has to lean on her, so in case he...
Like, I could just picture Khali using those scissors that you give to kids in elementary school where they can't really cut anything. They're, like, round.
He's, like, trying to stick it with his nose, and Ty's like, no.
But his fingers are too thick, so he can't put his fingers in the scissors, so he's just holding the 2 ends like head clippers or something.
It's the hootie owl scissors that you can't cut construction paper with.
I think we have a new gimmick for Khali. He could be the new Eugene.
Oh, God.
Well, it's better than fucking Natalya's farting gimmick.
Steven, how'd you feel about tonight's Divas competition?
Natalya Neidfart.
Anyway, the Summer Rae was actually... I didn't enjoy it because it was a fucking typical Divas match, but Summer Rae impressed me for the most part. I mean, I think she had a decent assault, and her amount of trash talking in a match, unlike the Bella Twins, was actually entertaining. It could have gone a lot shorter and it would have been more entertaining. But yeah, it was okay for a Divas match, but nothing special.
All right, guys, we're going to be going into the final segment of Raw tonight, so we'll be getting close to the end of the show here. If you want to get your final calls in here, now's the time to dial into that number, area code 760-512-7247. That's area code 760-512-7247, or you can join us via Skype by clicking that little icon at the very top. Probably got about, I'd say, 10 minutes left in the show here, because we're talking about the main event segment we had on Raw tonight. We started with all the superstars standing on the ramp, which I got to say right now, when you see that cast of characters there, I can't take the moment very seriously because it just looks hilarious. When you got like El Torito and the Los Matadores and Brodus Clay and Great Khali. It's not a very serious looking roster. But anyway, we have the Shield guarding the ring as usual. Triple H and Stephanie make their way down first. Triple H addresses how his original long-term vision for the company was to have Randy Orton as the face, but for a while he was immature, and he did things, terrible things, including to Triple H and his own family. He acknowledged that, which, I think is pretty cool. But Randy Orton has matured, and now he's able to be the A-plus superstar that they need him to be. They invite Randy Orton down to the ring for his WWE title celebration. However, before they get to do everything they want to do, Big Show comes down to the ring. He gets attacked by the Shield at first, but Goldust and Cody Rhodes and who was the other person? Was it Big E came down to the save?
Usos.
The
Usos.
Yeah.
Okay. They all came down. They fought off the other Shield members, allowing Big Show to get inside the ring and eventually challenge Triple H to get into the ring with him. Triple H balks, ends up walking back, and Raw goes off the air with Big Show reigning once again supreme in the ring. At least this time he wasn't doing a yes chant.
Or just kind of standing on a truck. That didn't do much.
Steven?
As we keep getting into the show and the drag later and later, I'm starting to realize that Mango was right. The first half of the show was great. The second half kind of blew, especially this segment. I didn't enjoy it at all. Triple H's rant about Randy Orton maturing, etc., that I found entertaining, but when it came to Big Show just coming out, cleaning house, and scaring everyone off, I just don't feel it really achieved much other than, I'm going to sue you. Yes, we already know that. I'm going to sue you. Yeah, okay. I don't know, didn't fucking accomplish anything for me. Big Show's going to sue him, and yeah. And he knocked out Randy Orton. Big whoop.
Triple H is going to sue him for threatening with possession of a firearm.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't Big Show sue Triple H for,
possession of nose?
Possession of nose.
Fucking thing's huge.
It is huge.
Paul, what did you think about tonight's main event segment?
I actually thought the Big Show had a great point. I mean, we know he didn't do anything, but let's look at Survivor Series. We could have Bray Wyatt, Kane, plus the Shield versus the Usos, Miz. I'm trying to think. The Usos, Miz, and the Rhodes. I mean, that would be a pretty good Survivor Series match. Usos, Miz, Rhodes, and Big E.
They give a shout out to Corey Krause in the chat room. I want to sue Big Show for undue occupation of the main event slot. Punitive damages for shitty TV.
Oh. Nice job.
Yeah, he pretty much raped Daniel Bryan of his fucking top spot. It's really fucking sucky.
Habits don't die, asking the big question that we ask ourselves every week. My question is, why is Big Show's music still playing if he's been fired?
Because he still has those friends in the production truck.
He's probably holding him up with his gun.
Right.
So hang on, Big Show's going to sue them, yet breaks a restraining order. There's a whole lot of fucking legal mumbo-jumbo that no one's really looking over.
David Otunga's looking over all of it.
You work for both parties.
Tony, what do you think about tonight's main event segment?
Disappointment. Big disappointment, I should say. I thought it was just a downer. This is like
Boo,
so
Wendy.
so
Boo, Wendy
underwhelming.
Testaburger. Boo, boo.
Very underwhelming.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's it.
You really don't have anything else to say?
No.
Are you sure?
It's got us. We're pretty butthurt about it.
Damn butthurt.
All right, so I guess then that's going to wrap us up for Talk About Monday Night Raw. We're going to go around, talk about our favorite point of the night, our high point, and also talk about our least favorite with the low point. Paul, why don't you start us off, man? High point and low point.
Peyton, I'm going to have to disagree with you. The high point was when Daniel Bryan put Shawn Michaels in the yes/no lock. That was awesome as shit. And the low point was seeing John Cena come back because I was promised 6 months. I was promised 6 months, goddammit. I didn't get it. So we're going to go with that.
Steven, high point, low point.
High point is the opening segment with the whole John Cena and Damien Sandow thing. Sure, it didn't end the way I liked, but I can't lie and say I wasn't entertained. In fact, that was the most point I was into the show, which is a rarity for the opening. My low point, Paul talking about Big E's cock.
Tony, high point, low point.
High point, before Damien Sandow lost. Low point, the turn the notch up kind of attitude that John Cena had to his accent during his promo.
Give Corey Krause in the chat room one more shout out. His low point was the fake Olays during the Los Matadores match, and his high point, Black Cena recently coming out of the closet and modeling the Divas title belt. Whoopsie.
He's a catcher.
I was going to mention that, but then someone re-interrupted and went on a tyrant. Don't know who that was.
I don't know. Anyway, my high point, low point. My high point would absolutely have to be the Damien Sandow cash-in. I was on the edge of my seat throughout that entire thing. I really don't know if they could have done any better, except for maybe without commercials. Actually, yeah, that definitely would have made it better. Either way, I still think it was an awesome part of the show. Excellent way to start it off, get it really hot. And I remember we were talking before the show even started, and some of us were not so positive. And I was like, no, you know what? They had a pretty good pay-per-view last night. I think that's going to be a good Raw. And you know what? Freaking awesome overall. It wasn't perfect throughout the entire night. There were some lulls. I do definitely agree with you guys that the first half was better than the second half, but I still think the second half was enjoyable. My low point. It's easy to say the Divas match, but I think actually for my low point, I'm going to say David Otunga reading the legal statement just because of how little energy.
But it meant so much.
But have you ever seen a passionate lawyer that talks with enthusiasm other than Saul from Breaking Bad?
Yes.
Clarence Mason.
Law and Order, Jack McCoy, come on.
Who's not on a TV show.
Yes, he is on a TV show. It's called Law and Order.
I just said who's not on a TV show. Can you mention any lawyer that's ever been enthusiastic?
Well, I don't really know a lot of lawyers.
On True TV, yes.
I'm not exactly friends with lawyers. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I do. I'm civilized
of
unlike you.
Oh. Okay. Whatever you say there.
I'm sorry, that was too funny. I'm sorry.
The guy who defended Zimmerman. Thanks, Corey. There you go. The lawyer
Zimmerman.
who defended Zimmerman. He was definitely very entertaining.
Yeah, but he wasn't right.
Okay, we're not going to get to that now.
Let's go.
Let's wrap this up here. Steven, your final thoughts and plugs tonight.
Okay, final thoughts. It was a solid Raw. Good in the first hour and a half, roughly, and dipped in the second half. But it was a good watch. I enjoyed this conversation and its bizarreness. And for me, you can catch me every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, over on Dream Elite Radio for Unanimous Decision MMA. We're going to be talking about Lyoto Machida versus Mark Munoz from UFC Fight Night 30, and that ridiculous head kick that went through Mark Munoz's block and just knocked him out clean. And as soon as we have a new name for Otaku Nation and work out what the hell's going on with it, I'll let you guys know.
Paul?
I will be at Norv's Bar and Grill in Arena, Wisconsin this Saturday for our Halloween party. I know it won't be Halloween, but, as close as it comes to, I will be dressed up as something. Maybe bacon, maybe beer, maybe something else. Come on down to Norv's in Arena, Wisconsin, and we will have a great time. Thank you, guys.
Tony, please.
As mentioned previously, my wrestling website is smarkoutmoment.com. I'm looking for more writers to recruit for the website, so if you're interested in becoming a contributor, shoot me a message on the contact form there, and we'll get to talking. My wrestling podcast is Smack Talk on youtube.com/smarkoutmoment, as well as iTunes and Stitcher. On our next episode, we're going to be reviewing Hell in a Cell, and just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, if you're a fan of what we had for you tonight, we're going to be doing a special live edition of Smack Talk on November 15th at 10 p.m. Eastern, operating kind of the same way that we did tonight with the Raw Post show, so make sure that you call into that. Check out my Bleacher Report articles, fanboysanonymous.com is your source for everything at geek culture, and everything else under a mango tree is just a Google search away.
All right. Everyone, we thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Be sure to join us here every single Monday night following the conclusion of Raw here on Mega Powers Radio at megapowersradio.com. We also got lots of other great shows going on throughout the week. Check them out at facebook.com/megapowersradio. You can also listen to all the archive versions of them at youtube.com/megapowersradio. I should also push my other wrestling show that I do here on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Yeah, we go head-to-head with TNA Impact because who cares? That company's going to be gone pretty soon, so it's not like we're going to have actual competition with it. It's called Keeping Kayfabe. It's more of a nostalgic-based show. We go pick and match from the past. We feature it. We talk about everything involved with it, from the build to a play-by-play review of the match, and also all the characters involved with it. It's always a good time looking back, so join us that Thursdays, 9 p.m. here on Mega Powers Radio. Guys, thank you so much for listening in. I'm Mike Paden, for Tony Mango, for Paul Hibbard, for Stephen Wago. This has been the Monday Night Raw Post Show here on Mega Powers Radio. We'll see y'all next week.